everybody, welcome. So, welcome to Tales of Initiative. I am your game master this evening, Melissa, and tonight I am joined again by our lovely compatriots of Tales of Initiative Sunset over Vengalia. And now we have Matt added to our little crew today. So, Dustin's out this week, so we are doing yet another episode of Heart of Ice, played with none other than the amazing system called Monsters and Counselors. So, before we get into the nitty-gritty of the game, I just want to take a moment to say that we have amazing sponsors, including Matt, who is part of our sponsors list, of all of the amazing content that they also make. So, Matt, would you like to go first if there's, any updates or any sort of notifications you'd like to talk about with Day 20?
Sure. I'll do a Day 20 plug that feeds right into a Tales plug, because right now we're having a sale, 20% off in honor of Pride Month on the Unknown playbook for Thirsty Sword Lesbians. And if you don't know what Thirsty Sword Lesbians is, or you know it and you love it, well then, boy howdy, you should tune in on Friday for the beginning of our Tales Pride Initiative weekend, where we're going to be doing a charity stream Friday night, Saturday afternoon, and Saturday night. I'll be GMing the Friday night game, Conlon's going to be GMing the Saturday night game, Billy's going to be GMing the Saturday afternoon game, and we're going to be playing 3 fantastically queer RPGs and raising some money for the Trevor Project. It's going to be a fun time. Golly gee willikers.
So be sure to check all of that out, because the chaos that we're going to cause this weekend is going to be memorable, to say the very least, and all for a very good cause towards the Trevor Project. We also have some other spawners that we would like to address, such as Emberwind, where they have some Kickstarter English, I can speak, projects that are in the works leading up towards Gen Con, which Matt is also doing some stuff towards Gen Con.
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to mention anything about that.
I'm just running a couple events for some Day 20 content, but also Tails is going to be there, a good number of us. So if you're going to Gen Con, drop something in the Discord server. A, join our Discord server. B, drop something in there and we can hang out. Have a good time.
We also have other amazing sponsors, such as Level 1. We also have Buried Without Ceremony, another amazing game that you actually don't need a DM for, just as much as you don't need one for Emberwind. And who else am I missing in this amazing bunch? Day 20 with our illustrious Matt. We also have Fernway Dice as another amazing one, and you guys just missed out. TA Maps. You guys missed out on the Summer Solstice giveaway that we actually had last week for the amazing dice, but we still have more giveaways in the future with regards towards Fernway Dice and all of the precious dice that they make. Who else am I forgetting? TA Maps.
I think that's it.
That's it?
I got GameStop.
GameStop.
To the moon.
Buried Without Ceremony.
Melissa
Buried
does not
Without
have diamond hands.
What?
No. I am
No one will ever get these references except for me and Conlon. We're just sitting here in our weird Reddit thread, enjoying.
Huddle.
Huddle.
Huddle. Oh my god. Anyway, so, now that Matt's here, I know that they are the ones who normally say it while they GM, but while Dustin is away, we will continue to play. And now, we'll just do a very quick recap of Heart of Ice, Monsters, and Counselors. So, last time we had our session, our illustrious counselors ended up migrating their way over towards Camp Brittlebone, which is held in the very heart of the forest in northern Minnesota. And we've been truth bombing a lot of nature facts, which Haley was very impressed by.
I feel bad for all of Australia.
Why?
Melissa was like, you can see through the water all the way to the bottom, and both of you looked like it was some sort of mystical fairy tale.
I'm like a puddle? Like
Even our puddles aren't clear.
I was gonna say,
let's
yeah, my
be
like
honest.
most puddles aren't clear either.
Thanks, Carp. Digging up
Yeah,
and destroying
pretty
all our
much.
riverbeds.
So, all of you gradually ended up making your way towards Camp Brittlebone, where all of you met up with camp leader Murray. Now, 2 of you, K-Rock, or otherwise known as Conlon, and excuse me, Sorry, me not dying. And then Haley's character, Rowan, where you two have been there before. You have counseled many times at this camp before, and this was Taylor's character, Ebony, very first time coming over to the camp. All of you met up with Murray. You dropped off your stuff at the cabin that all of you were staying in, where Ebony found out very quickly, it's camp, it's dirty. There's no, like, clean codes or anything like that with regards to tidiness. All of you got a grand tour of the entire camp. You managed to migrate your way over towards the mess hall, where it was Haley's little heaven on earth for her character Rowan, making a Michelin star meal of sandwiches with little Salt Bae added on top for garnish. All of you managed to migrate your way also towards archery, where Ebony showed her very impressive skills with regards to archery, and Conlin almost died to the devil's lettuce. But all of you managed to get situated for the first night. Counselors, as all of you were the first ones there, the other counselors managed to migrate their way over the course of the entirety of the day back to the camp. And all of you got bored at one point with the Dave's tunes that were broadcasting over the PA system, so the three of you decided to do a little something about that. Making your way past the forest towards the radio tower, Ebony ended up, having a creepy encounter with a little cottontail rabbit that decided to eat itself from the brush as it was scared shitless and managed to maneuver its way away. And you ended up finding a deer's horn that was, for lack of a better word, gross. Just decrepit and decayed and just slimy and just the most gnarly looking thing you could think of. All of you successfully managed to go up towards the radio tower after that to change the tunes, while the rest of the counselors were starting to arrive. I have to turn the music down because I can't think too much. Sun starts to set. All of you started going through what is the tradition for all the counselors, since they all arrived before the kids the night before camp start. Traditional s'mores, since it's basically a scarce object after the first night. You guys don't know whether or not you'd be able to even savor one later, because all the kids show up later. You ran into Mikey, who all of you love so dearly, who told you a little bit about the story of the Wendigo. Not really trusting the source in which all of you have heard that story from, you decided to go to the cryptid counselor, Katie, who was very much enveloped in what is known as the Folklore of Minnesota book, who gave you a little bit more of an elaborate story as to the Wendigo and the dangers that go with it. And that's where we're going to pick up. The three of you have managed to successfully convince Katie to tell you the story about the Wendigo. The night's drawing to a close, for lack of a better word, and camp counselors are still wandering about around the campfire. Some of them are retiring early for the evening so that they can kind of decompress before the kids start to show up the following day. What do the three of you do?
Break my dice storage. Sorry, I fixed it.
Aside from breaking the storage?
Yep, just breaking everything around me. Cool. Ebony's just sticking pretty close to Rowan and Kevin. Doesn't really want to interact with anyone else. Like, she's already met her quota with these two. So staying away from people, but staying close to them without making it look like she's staying close to them.
Rowan's gonna add another log to the fire. She knows that she wants to keep going. It's not late enough yet. Otherwise, if you sleep the camp away, you're not gonna have any fun without the kids. So she's getting used to the late nights. So yeah, she wants to keep that fire going, and she just takes a seat and enjoys the warm. Get some s'mores in her. She's for sure stocked up on s'mores. Like, if anyone wants them made, she's also making them for them.
Yeah, I think Kevin's also still just like hanging out, eating s'mores, maybe going through some of the cassettes that he brought.
So, as the three of you are enjoying the quiet and kind of just savoring the little time of freedom you have left before the first set of kids show up, you'll notice actually that the last bus that had all the counselors come in, some of them are actually scrambling to grab their bags so that they can get situated in the other cabins. And the three of you notice one counselor that's actually going in the direction of your cabin. Matt, would you like to talk about your character a little bit and describe who they are?
Sure. My name is Mikey. No.
Oh no.
Thank you, Matt. I'll
Don't
pay
know
you
how
later.
badly I wanted to do that to y'all. No. Y'all see a girl with short, hyper curly, messy, dirty blonde hair. Has those like mid-thigh kind of jean shorts that are awkwardly not deciding what length they're supposed to be. Blue and white striped, horizontal striped t-shirt with some high top waterproof hiking boots. And they've got lots of bangles around her wrist. They look like threaded through just random stuff. And there's a couple like random like little bead necklaces that look like they're made with like the craft kits that are here at the camp. And some kind of, you can't see it from that distance, but very poorly painted nails. They're pretty chipped and messed up and stuff. Yeah, they've got she's got a crossbody backpack slung across her back.
So she'll be migrating her way over towards what would be the empty bunk bed that would be available in your cabin for the three of you.
Are they walking towards us or walking towards the bunk? Sorry, I
Towards
missed
the
that part.
bunks to drop
Okay.
off all of her stuff. Since they were the last bus, they didn't have as much time to actually get situated, so it's kind of a scramble and a hustle for the last set of counselors that came in.
Looks like they're
Is she
going to
heading-
stay with us.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is she heading towards our room? I thought we already called dibs.
Yeah, there's four counselors to a cabin usually. It's alright, I'm sure she'll join us soon. They'll join us soon and we'll see. Yep.
So, was there anything in the cabin you wanted to do, Matt, before your character came out? Other than just get situated?
Yeah, she's just like flopping that backpack onto the thing and like stringing up a couple of. There are a bunch of like fold out shelves. She's doing the dust the comforter off, right? This is not her. This is her second or subsequent rodeo. She's not falling for that trap, and is hanging up a bunch of these like homemade sort of like spill out packing things, so that like she's got like shelving units deployed on the side of the bunk bed. And very quickly, like, there, that's done. And just starts heading towards the campfire.
Alright.
I feel
So,
like...
by...
Oh no, sorry. No, I was gonna say I feel like we definitely would have lit a joint by now, and by once Matt's character gets closer, I want to pass to them. So I'm holding it out.
Puff, puff, pass.
Yeah, puff, pass. So yeah, once I get close enough, I'm not just gonna hold it for 20, 30 meters or anything like that. But when she gets there.
Also, thank you for putting all the channel points into those thingies. You've unlocked an extra cutscene for Winnie this coming Monday.
Ooh.
Oh my god.
I'm scared.
I'm gonna make a roll for myself just to see. Okay. She like sees the joint and just like, oh, sure. Thanks.
Can you give me a monster roll, Pat?
That's exactly what I rolled. I rolled a
Okay.
6.
Okay, good.
Oh, so actually I failed, don't I? If I'm rolling a monster roll, that's a fail.
You want...
I want below monster.
Oh yeah, you did.
Yeah. I was thinking monster was high, but the score is high. The roll I want it
Yep.
to be low.
Yeah.
Yep. So, very similar.
I started at a
K-Rock.
4, right to a
Yep.
3.
Mhm.
Oh no.
So now you're at a 3. So K-Rock, seeing how the new counselor had a very similar reaction to the exact same joint that was rolled, you're starting to kind of second guess what kind of shit has been packed in this. But
she
you have
says
a-
that like, I think you've got a bad one. Oh.
Oh, you're just not
I knew it.
seasoned.
I
Pass
knew
it
it.
back.
Ugh. Good to see y'all again.
Yep, we know you.
So you would have seen her for, the last couple of years, since this is like her second, third time coming in. So maybe
Cool,
not
cool.
one of the older counselors that you've known, since the two of you have been there for quite some time, but certainly a face you would recognize.
It's good to see you, Tara.
Yeah, good to see you again. Glad you're here.
Thanks. Appreciate that.
You
She
okay?
takes a seat. You would know that I also did a camp nickname, but you would know that, or at least potentially you know that Tara does not like her camp nickname. And so she's just being rather grateful in that moment for you using her name.
Mm-hmm. What's the camp nickname? 'Cause
Oscar.
I would know it. Oh.
The Grouch.
Also because the way that she got that nickname is that some of the other counselors noticed her digging through the trash one day. She was looking for some good fish bait, but like her protestations against the name like did that thing where it just makes the name stick that much worse. And so yeah.
So, are all of you just going to continue sitting by the fire for right now? It's going on towards like 9:30, so you guys still have a little bit of time before it's completely lights out.
Yeah. I'd say
Supposed to
we
be.
stay up to the last minute and then maybe 15 minutes more than that before we start thinking about packing up.
Yeah.
Well, I
Um,
guess we have to go.
Yeah.
actively try and avoid Mikey.
Actually, hold on.
I feel like he's gone to bed. He's like 100 years old.
Mikey, not Murray, or are you also saying that
No,
Mikey is 100 years
Mikey's
old?
yeah, Mikey was a counselor when I came here, so
Yep. Gotcha.
Yeah, Mikey for the most part would have started
he's like
to
25, but still
To
not.
us.
I'm not a vibe.
Ancient.
Yeah.
but for the most part he would have gone to with the majority of other counselors. So he wouldn't be
He was born in the 1900s. I mean, come on.
I feel targeted, Matt. Anyway,
I hit myself with that. That was a grenade for all of us.
Self-burn.
Yeah.
Mhm.
so he would be gone for the night, so he won't be bugging all of you for the rest of the night. And now he's not going to completely ransack your apartment and just, take one of the bunk beds, since there was an empty one now that Tara has the fourth one.
Thank God.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Oh, had he not selected a room?
He always waits till the last minute.
Mm.
Mhm.
Mm-mm. Welcome to the cabin, roomie.
Thanks. You're new. I'm Tara.
Ebony, hi.
And she is just she's got like a couple of bits of twine, is just threading another bracelet, just idly while she's not cooking a marshmallow or cooking a s'more or eating a s'more. She's just fidgeting with a little bit of twine.
Or what do you do here at camp?
I guess counsel, like the same thing that everyone does. Or is that not what you were asking?
I think she means like what's your specialty? Like,
Oh.
Dad.
you know.
Oh,
I do classes. Ebony does archery. K-Rock, what do you do again?
You know, like bushcraft stuff, like
Yeah.
foraging
Yeah.
and lighting fires and all that
Yes,
fun
yes,
stuff.
yes. And you, Tara?
I mean, I usually help with the lake, but it's like I help basically tie stuff. So like if kids don't know how to fix their hook or their line, or if they need help getting the docks undocked or docked, I'm good with that kind of stuff.
Very cool.
I like the lake.
Lake's nice. You seen the lake? Ebony?
Intrusive thoughts. Almost won. Almost won. Think I saw it when we were driving past, but the sun was reflecting off it, so.
Should we go check it out?
Late night swim. Late
Yeah.
night swim. Late night swim.
I won't swim, but you don't actually need a chaperone. I'll buddy system though.
Ugh, you're into that thing too?
You're
What
supposed
do you think,
to
we're
do it.
12?
I mean, there's been a non-zero number of kids that went under, and I had to get them. So
Oh.
You can lifeguard for us then.
Are you going to be able to lifeguard after taking that huff? I didn't agree with you.
I didn't even get any of it. If it's rank, it
I'm
doesn't
not-
go down.
I'm not convinced it wasn't just grass
Oh.
clippings.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
Did you get it from Murray's lawnmower? That's
No.
that's the wrong
Did you
kind
get
of
it
grass.
from Mikey? Because Mikey,
Yeah.
I
He's
brought
not
this from
reliable.
home.
It's just Basil.
You know, hemp rope doesn't actually it's not. That won't work either.
No. I know.
Do you still have it?
I'm talking to a connoisseur.
Okay, rowboat.
I'm the
There it is.
Am
We
I
have a
going?
nickname for.
I've inflicted a nickname upon you.
Love it.
It's fine, Oscar. You wouldn't know real stuff from trash any other time, huh?
Oh, there's history here.
You can play that game. And I'm gonna storm off to the lake. And I'm literally stomping my feet like a child.
Do you still have the...
Yes. I'm not
Yeah,
puff
but
passing. No, if you go one way, I pass it back to Ebony.
Yeah, okay. I assume it's probably like burnt close. I'll just finish it off and be like,
It's
let
a
me show
wreck.
Roll me
you
a
how it's
monster
done.
check.
Cool. So I want to get below my number.
Mm-hmm.
I do! I got a 5.
Right. You smoke the devil's lettuce without any sort of complication.
Isn't that a monstrous thing? Do you get an extra thingy for a
Oh
monstrous?
yeah, you did.
Wait, because my number is
What's your number?
My number's
Mhm.
6. No,
you,
my number's
you
6.
blow out smoke rings.
Oh, your number is a 6?
My number's
How-
6,
Can't-
yeah.
You can't get to
I
a
don't think
6.
You can't get to a 6.
No, you're at a 5.
Yeah.
You're at 5.
Oh, okay. Oh,
There's always a chance of succeeding the opposite one that you have a lot of.
Yeah.
oh.
So what
Sorry.
you get is you get to ask me a question. So,
Ask if it is just like lawn clippings and basil.
Do it.
Yeah. Okay,
Mel,
that's my
if
question.
You screw me over right now, I will murder you.
there's like some good stuff in there, but for the most part, the majority of it is filler.
Yeah, okay, you know, okay, so what it is, you know that Rowan has put a lot of leaf in it to stretch it out, so then she
You've
doesn't have to
diluted
share
it.
the good stuff. Yeah, that's exactly right. So she
Yep.
doesn't have to share the good stuff with you guys.
She doesn't want to share all of her good stuff with just anybody. So there might be oregano or some other random crap kind of.
No! No!
She mixed up the pouches.
Sacrilege! I quit if this is the answer to this question.
You're also asking the one person who doesn't smoke, okay?
Yeah.
I don't smoke.
I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
No, it's fine.
I don't know what's included.
I would never do that, me or any of my characters ever.
this is once again the Haley bleed. Classic Haley bleed is that like, no, this aspect of Haley exists in all of her characters and would never.
Oh my god.
Look, there are some fundamental truths about me as a person and and then me as a character, and they can't change no matter what.
I love it.
This is a canon
including
event.
a flair for the dramatics as she stomps off.
We can't interfere with the canon event, so.
Nope. I just saw the comment. Jesus.
Chat's
What?
getting spicy.
Yeah. Half on that, my god, near in for a time.
Wouldn't have this problem if that wall was
Oh
up.
Jesus. Okay. Well,
So have a huff, but like I'll keep a straight face and just be like, you'll get used to it. And then I follow. I keep a secret.
all right. So, all of you are going towards the lake, and I have my handy dandy. Oh my god, this camera. Handy dandy map. Each of you having your own individual colors. If I can move the fucking lot of you from the map all the way down to the fucking lake.
On the way there, Tara's gonna go up to K-Rock. Do you think she was doing it to be defensive, or was she doing it to be mean?
I think it was just defensive. People are kind of weird about their nicknames,
Hmm.
but I think that nickname was totally awesome.
Oh my god.
Tara just nods and slides a one of the many wristbands over to you.
Put it on.
Aww. All right. So, the four of you start migrating your way over to the lake. And the first thing you'll come up to is just the docks. So, just a standard pier that goes out well past the shoreline. And it stops at about what would be like a 5-foot depth of the lake. It clearly goes a little bit deeper than that, but it's enough to like hop in. And Minnesota's cold, for those of you who are not familiar with the Midwestern temperatures. So, other than Ebony, the three of you would definitely know that these waters are chilly. So it's going to be quite a shock when you jump in.
Maybe just dangle my feet in first to get comfortable.
Quick question. Is there like a canoe nearby?
Yeah, there would be like a little setup. They would be covered in tarps for all of the canoes and kayaks that they give to the kids when you're doing like, all the water sports at the camp. So there's like that little pyramid setup thing where you have them all stacked up. So
Perfect. Kevin walks over to those, kind of pulls back the tarp a little bit and goes, "Hey, Rowboat, is this your cousin?"
I didn't tell him to say that.
Oh no, this is all me. This is a great nickname. We've been looking for one for you for a while. This is the best.
Rowan is going to slide off of the deck and just plop into the water. Like, she doesn't care. She's like, you just saw the most defeated face in the world, and then her just go, like, and into the water. She doesn't care how cold it is.
Just
She's gonna
take me.
keep, yeah, just take me. And then she keeps her head under the water for, like, way too long.
I will say the water's like 10, 15 C for you.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
It's-
gonna be
it's
fucking
cold.
cold.
I
Yeah.
don't know what that equates to. Hold
No,
on.
I'm just.
That
I'm
was-
gonna say.
Celsius?
Just
Yeah.
10 to
see.
15 degrees Celsius?
Oh,
that's
that's
fine.
okay. Okay.
She put
I
it
can
into
manage
the
that.
imperial units for you, or whatever. It's not imperial.
Appreciate
The
it.
units.
non-imperial.
And the
Non-imperial.
non-imperial, yeah.
We're in America.
Yeah,
we
that's-
fuck up
that's
all this
fine.
other stuff. It's just.
Okay.
She can. She
did-
can manage that.
Did she just
Only-
slide in fully clothed?
Yeah, I feel like before she sat down, she like took her pant bottoms off, and then as she like slid, she just like ripped her shirt off and slid in underwear.
Okay. Ebony is not going to bother trying to climatize. Shoes off, pants off, top off, and she'll do a shallow dive. And then be
Okay.
like, holy shit, why did no one warn me?
As soon as both people are up out of the water, Kevin does a cannonball into the water and splashes everyone.
Now, in the docks, you would actually know, Tara, that there's like a couple of folding chairs that they do, you know, in case like the kids got overworked while they were swimming and they needed a place to sit, or for the counselors to chill if it's like swimming time. So you could easily grab a chair if you
Nice.
wanted to hang out at the deck.
Is there like a dock that goes out that they're jumping off of? Okay, I will just Tara's just gonna go to the edge and like dangle her feet off and just sit there.
So, by this point, if all of you were to look up to the sky, you would see that there's not a single cloud, and the entire sky is decorated in untouched stars. You're seeing like hints of like all of the cosmic clouds of like purples and like pinks, and it's just scattered across the entire sky. And the moon looks completely untouched. It just looks like this. It looks like the dioramas you would see in museums, where it is just the 1080p high quality shit. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. It is just like it's pristine. This is like every single pamphlet and every single image on Google you would see of of this camp. This is exactly what you guys have been dreaming of, more or less, with coming here. This is one of the highest selling points. And the four of you are just hanging out, beyond curfew, might I add, just enjoying it.
Just a bunch of rule breakers.
As Kevin jumps in, he's gonna be like, rude, and then splash back, and not care if she gets anyone in the splash zone. But like a
Literal splash zone.
literal splash zone, yeah. I tried to think of
It
something
feels
witty and there
weird to
was
use
nothing.
the idiom for what it's actually based on. Yeah.
Yeah, so I tripped, and I was like, yep. Do I get anyone?
Is it dark enough that I want to go under the dock?
Mhm.
And I want to reach my cold, wet hand out of the...
I knew she was gonna do this. Tara 100% would have fixed a line to her waist so that she's sitting on the dock with an anchor point,
Okay,
knowing that
so-
this prank war is probably escalating.
I don't pull her in.
Okay.
Okay, so what I want you to do is I want you to do a monster roll for the sake of stealth. Okay.
Okay.
For the sake of stealth, to see whether or not Tara's anchor or line gets triggered.
Okay. All I want to do is pretty much
Just a
like
shot.
touch her
Scare
foot. I want to
Scare
like yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I got a 6. I failed that massively.
Yeah, you did. So, that line is just going like ding, 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 ding. So it's just
all I did, what happened was I reached my hand out of the water and you heard me underneath you and I didn't get to, all I want to do was slap your foot, like with my, you know what I mean? Like with my cold,
Yeah.
wet hand. That's all I was trying to do.
Tara just goes, low 5.
And I just sink back under the water and swim. Does that mean my monster number's gone up to 3 now?
Mm-mm.
Yes.
No.
No, it would.
How does that happen?
When you fail, you go in the opposite direction of what you tried. So you would go Does it say there's a maximum?
Back to 2.
Oh,
the
so I
minimum
go-
of two.
is 2.
You would go
So
to
I
2,
can't go-
but you
okay,
you're
but I
yeah,
can-
you
You're
bounce
already
off.
where you are. Yep, you're
Yeah, no, that's
exactly
fine.
where you are right now.
Perfect. I just wanted it. I was like, wait a second. I don't want to get closer to monster. No. I was like, I
You
wouldn't
wouldn't
have
be
done
like
that.
me.
All right. So, that attempt failed, but I'm going to roll something really quickly. All right. So,
This doesn't make sense when it's nighttime.
oh my god. So,
I feel like
Are
the
all-
light of the stars and the moon is keeping it all pretty viewable.
There'd be deep shadows, but we can see.
Yeah.
how far are all of you going while you're swimming? Are you kind of just sticking by the edge of
not-
the dock?
Yeah, I feel
Yeah,
like
no.
we wouldn't be staying in longer than 10 minutes. Like, this is freezing and we need to, like, get out now and then go get warm.
Okay. All right. So
This
you
is nice.
like-
This is nicer on a warm night than it is right now.
It's like a
Would there be
stark
warmer
refresh.
nights? Is that a thing? Is it summer right now? Because I don't understand. Our water is hot when it's summer.
Yeah.
So I don't understand how it gets so cold.
It's since it's in
in
the
summer.
northern part of the U.S. where it's like closer towards Canada and stuff.
Mhm.
Temperatures are usually going to be a little cooler up north
Okay.
as opposed to being further south.
It's
Okay.
it's like temperate air temperatures. Even like on a hot day, it'd get to like I'm forgetting the quick and easy Celsius conversion, but
You
70
could just
to,
tell me yours.
70 to
yeah,
80
okay.
on
Yeah.
our scale, and also like a lot of
Which
the
is-
water bodies are fed by like glacial sources, so you're getting like cold from below and not
Ah.
much heat from above.
That's science.
Okay,
with
so
math.
that's freezing. But we would be used to it.
Yeah.
So your hottest temperature during the day is still freezing for us.
Mhm.
21 degrees is so cold. That's not warm.
Oh,
See,
you
I
say
already-
that's
that's-
perfect.
That's just below my comfort level, so I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
It's too cold for me.
Ugh.
So, the one thing that. Do you guys realize you forgot something when you went skinny dipping?
Oh, I'm not skinny dipping.
Y'all forgot towels.
Yeah.
Eh.
Mm.
So,
Is there not? No, I feel like there would be like a rack of towels or something like that. Or is that
It's not
not a
out.
thing?
It's not out. You would
They
that would
wouldn't
be
be
in like a
prepped.
shed somewhere that like gets put away.
the dock is solely for like
I
stuff.
feel
for
like
the
this
boats
Oh my
and
This is
God.
just
fishing.
general lack of knowledge for me because I feel like every time I've gone, there's like always a box or a something of towels or a rack of towels somewhere that you
We-
can grab.
We as the counselors are the people that make that happen, and we did not make that happen.
Oh, well then me as a counselor retcon seeing and not understanding that in summer camp they don't just automatically have towels for people in near the places that you swim.
It's
Yeah, this is how you get bit by a brown recluse.
Yeah, those
living in
towels.
towels.
Those towels would be gnarly or death traps if you just left them out
filthy.
over extended periods.
Mhm.
That's fine.
So it.
Whatever.
Death by adder.
And we're gonna get hypothermia and die before we even finish the first
no,
night. That's
no,
cool.
no,
No,
You-
we're good.
Yeah, you guys know the distance between the lake and the cabins. It's gonna be painful just because you're running through the midst of the Minnesota night after dipping in like 30-degree, 40-degree water. So it is not going to be pleasant, but you'll be okay. So finishing up, Matt, you alright?
Taylor's admission in chat is killing me.
I'm
Oh.
dumb, okay?
Oh, Taylor. Oh, sweetheart.
I'm so slow.
What did you think? Yeah, what were you thinking? You
I
just
was like, like, bro, it's like camp counselor, like, yeah, okay, cool. And then, like, I was writing it down, and I'm like, oh!
Oh,
Anyway.
Taylor. You're my favorite.
So, all of you having your 10-minute swimming session come to a quick close, realizing that you're going to have to boogie all the way back to the cabin in order to like get dry clothes and to dry off and to stay warm and such. Y'all just gun it. So, I'd imagine Tara, you're probably the last because you're the only one
Not
who didn't
gunning
jump
it.
in.
Yeah.
Nope. So
To retcon that, to fix that action not happening, as soon as Rowan is out of the water, she hugs Tara, gives her a big hug and a squeeze, and then takes off, being like, "It's so cold."
Yes, it is.
Shit.
you just have a nice imprint on your shirt of where Rowan just hugged you, and you're just like,
Yep. Moving a
waddling
little
your
quicker
way
now.
So, while all of
Don't get out.
you run all the way back towards your cabin to settle in for the evening after your slight bending of the rules, because of where you swam underneath the dock, Rowan, what you don't realize is that a shoe pops up, kicked up from under the muck, and floating just underneath where all of
I
you
didn't see
were
it?
swimming. Nope.
Does it have a foot in it?
Genuinely
No.
tapping into my real life fears right now. I hate that so much.
I kicked it up by my swimming, and it makes me feel disgusting.
It could have been someone's just dropped their shoe or lost it when they flipped over a canoe.
Coulda.
It's fine.
Do you know how
Coulda.
many dead things there are in a lake?
Yep. Fish
Like
shit in it.
swimming in lakes.
Yeah.
is why
All
you
of the
can't-
dead
I mean,
things.
you said we could see the bottom of this lake, but not that time because it's nighttime.
Since you were underneath, since it was dark, and since you were also underneath, the little bit of shading and stuff that goes with being under the deck is going to be a little hard to see things.
Yeah. Noted.
So, I need to do something really quickly. Let's see. Whack! Jesus Christ. Well, that's gone.
It's never bad for us when the GM just rolls unannounced.
No.
All right. So, all of you retire for the evening, getting situated and ready for when the camp's brand new camping faces will show up the next day. Do any of you want to do anything before we shift over towards the next day?
Has everyone left the fire as we're running back?
Yeah, so it would have been, someone would have put a pail of water over it just to make sure it's absolutely gone. Because you can't leave.
I feel like
fire.
we were the ones to do that. We were the last at the fire, so I feel
Yeah.
like we put that fire out and then ran out to the lake.
Because if that was the case, getting out of the water, I would have thrown my jumper at Tara, then bolted after Rowan. I've got rubber in my head now.
That's fine,
Which is the
don't
first
worry
time
about it.
you've actually. So stupid. So dumb. Which is the first time we've actually seen any sort of urgency in Ebony. And then she's just gonna run up as close to the fire as she possibly can and try and like warm herself up and defrost a little bit, still in her underwear. And then she'll go back to the cabin once the chill's been taken off and dried off a little bit, so she's not got wet lingerie dripping everywhere.
Okay.
Would you prefer if I said bra and panties?
It's again, it's such a mismatch from my expectations for summer camp because it's like I was picturing in my head Tara going, "Those are too frilly for out here. Lace does not belong in the woods."
They are, yep. They're matching. They're black and they've got like silver threaded spider webs all over them, like gothic.
Okay,
Gothic
first
frilly
we got it.
underwear.
We got it.
The
Now I
matching
wanna
whip and
go
handcuffs are
Yeah.
the cabin.
No.
They're tucked under a secret compartment in the suitcase.
Oh,
Oh my god. Alright, I assume the rest of you would probably do the same to like warm up by the fire before retiring.
Mm-hmm.
Tara just goes straight to the cabin.
Okay. So are you guys gonna leave the fire out just roaring, or are you gonna
No.
grab some water?
No, we
to-
put it out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely put it out.
We do that part, yes.
We're
Yes.
reckless, but we're not careless.
We're not stupid.
Moki
Well, I
won't
am
be
fun.
very happy with leaving the fire unattended, so it's
I feel like we've had a stern talking to like a couple of times, and so it's like drilled into our brains to like put that fire at the fuck out.
you can fuck anything else up, but you gotta keep the fire out.
Yeah,
The unwritten rule of number 7 is don't burn the camp down.
yeah.
So
All
that's
right.
what happened to the Furbolg in Sunset of Vengalia.
All right. So, next day rolls around. There's a screech on the PA system where you guys hear a very familiar voice coming up. All right, camp counselors, this is Camp Leader Murray. Everybody, time to get up. Gotta get breakfast in you before the kids show up. Over and out. Click.
It's not a walkie-talkie. He doesn't have to say that.
I feel like Rowan has already gotten up and she's at the mess hall helping prep for the breakfasts because that's what she's doing at the camp. So
Because this is going to be a lunch specifically, breakfast specifically for the counselors
Counselors.
before the kids start rolling in.
yeah, so I feel like Rowan's up early every morning in that kitchen getting ready for breakfast. She knows it's for the counselors this time, but she's up every morning, I reckon.
So rise and shine, everybody. It's camp day number 1.
So was yesterday number 0? Is it 0 indexed?
What time is it?
It's about 7:30 in the morning.
Everybody's gonna grab a pillow and put it over her head.
So
Kevin's
all-
gonna go over and start shaking Ebony's bed. Time to get up! Let's go, camp! You're a counselor now. It means getting up at 7:30. Woo!
You don't already get up this early?
Who
Oh.
wants to get up this early?
You get to see the sunrise.
Ugh. No one. This wasn't in the ad description.
You saw this in an ad?
I had to apply for the position. I had to know what was available.
No.
You don't just
That makes-
rock up for a job.
I guess that makes sense. I just thought, I guess most people here were like
By
campers before
referral?
they were
Yeah.
counselors, or like, yeah, you know, they knew somebody. It's like, I don't know. That's it's cool. I just didn't know whether they advertised. I'm shocked. I'm just a little surprised. That's all.
I always assumed it was word of mouth kind of thing.
Yeah.
No.
All
I
right.
don't talk to many people. Where would I get the information anyway? You can stop shaking me. I'm awake.
He doesn't stop until you get out.
Oh, she like throws the pillow and tries to hit you with it.
Do a monster roll for me.
Okay. Another 5. Jesus. Burn me.
All right. So, what question would you like to ask me?
Oh my god. Can I hang on to that?
Yes, I'll let you hang
Okay.
on to it.
Thank you.
So just write down on your notes you have one
I
question
just-
saved. And then that principle will apply to all of you too. If you can't think of anything in the moment, I'll let you save it for another instance.
Nice.
Lovely, thank you.
I'm not gonna torture you guys that much.
Why? That's the most fun part of being a DM.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's torturing people. It's great.
Torture.
in every
I-
definition.
Oh, I have stuff saved for you, don't worry. Anyway, did something happen in chat again? Oh my god.
Robertables is on fire.
Haley, we... Okay. Robert! Alright, anyway.
Bobby Bench, you've made an enemy.
You get chased
We'll
down by a
organize the
rowboat.
fight
Oh, yeah.
sometime. It's gonna be great.
So I slap Kevin with my pillow.
And it's just dead on, like, right to the face. Just... just impeccable aim. All those archery skills coming into play.
I mean, it's a pillow. It doesn't hurt, but
Alright. So, you have arisen, everyone else is awake, and everyone will...
I just have Mushu going through my head when you said that.
Oh, god damn it. Oh. I had plans for this episode. I
Decide on
thought
your
I would
Why?
I thought I
Yeah,
would...
why bother?
Okay.
Yeah,
Have you met us?
congrats. You just
We
learned
warned
how
you
to be a
before we went
DM for
live.
real.
This is a whole new side to you guys I've never seen before.
delightful
Yeah.
Yep.
Look, you're gonna have to railroad us, so just keep talking louder than we are.
More intrusive thoughts.
I think we had the exact same intrusive thought.
Anyway, y'all are awake. So, Rowan already being in the mess hall, all of you will get dressed and all of you will start migrating your way over towards the mess hall as well. I'm gonna quickly... Whoops, I lost another fucking dice. That's great. It's just... Okay. So, when all of you get there, you'll see that there's a multitude of a lot of the other counselors who already got there first. They're all, like, shuffling down the line towards, like, the buffet tables that are on the opposite side, and there's several who have started sitting down in all the long benches. All of you, since I rolled the good roll, see Mikey, but Mikey does not see all of you. And I'll carry this over towards you, Rowan, where you successfully managed to hide when Mikey went by, grabbing all of his food, and then proceeded to sit down with a
I
bunch
just
of
literally put like a lunch tray in front of my face. Like that's all I did. Walked past me.
But he managed to sit right by a bunch of counselors, like all the way in the back, that are clearly not happy that he's right there. So,
Mikey.
I love my Mikey buddy. And all of you will actually see Katie, who is reading the same book as before. And she's actually at a table by herself. And there'll be some counselors who follow in after you guys going in. So you could go ahead and grab food if you want to. And Rowan, since you were there already, excuse me, you would have done a lot of the prep already and you would have been there for some time. So you'll be able to actually take your break and sit with the others if you want to.
As soon as I see them come in, I let them know that I'm taking a break.
Yep.
And I will grab my own food and go sit down with the group.
And this is like a smorgasbord of all the amazing cool stuff. Like freshly scrambled eggs, not the sad hotel looking ones that look like they're crying. There's sausages, there's more veggie related items for those who are vegan or vegetarian. There's like there's no cooking stations or anything like that, but anything you could think of for a nice healthy breakfast option is readily available. So all of you will have your select choices. All of you will get in line, make your asserted choices, and all of you can have freedom to sit wherever you want. Are y'all gonna go sit with Katie?
What did she? Oh, she had a shirt that I wanted.
Keep
Make
Brittlebane
it-
weird, or Brittlebone weird.
Yeah.
Brittle Bone Weird.
Yeah, okay. And
And
what was
she'll
the-
have...
what was the book? Was it her own journal or was it an actual?
No, it would have been like a library book she would have taken before camp. So it's just folklore of Minnesota So it's the same book that she was reading the night before. And now she has a new shirt that says Mothman is sexy.
Amazing.
I'm sitting
That she
right
would
with
have made
her.
herself. Yep, that she would have made
Is-
herself.
She's the
she
correct kind of
sitting-
weird.
She is the correct kind of beauty.
I need
Is
my
she
water
sitting by
bottle.
herself?
Yeah, she's by herself. She's just immersed in her book, so
Oh, perfect. Because, yeah, if Murray's over there, like, if she was over there with Murray, then I wouldn't have bothered. But if she's sitting by herself, that's where Ebony goes. Sits directly in front of her. Has this massive smorgasbord of whatever Rowan's made. She's got quite the appetite on her. And just goes, any other folklore, mystery, spooky tales you want to share?
what was the rule I told you about last night? Just reading up on some of the other indigenous stuff and some stories from miners from all the mines that were throughout the entire mountains. I didn't think you'd be the cryptid type.
Look at me.
Yeah, Thursday, I am looking at you. Cryptid is not exactly the same as goth either.
It can be a crossover.
Well, it's nothing new as opposed to last night. This is probably my 5th time reading this book.
Must be good, so spill.
Nah, it's just more going into the history of the Ojibwe people, and I'm just kind of stuck at that part right now.
Why?
Because there's a lot of history of the Ojibwe people. And she'll actually like take a huge chunk. Since she's read this book 5 times, she knows exactly where the last page is, and she's like, that much is part of the Ojibwe history. I read through 1/8 of that last night.
But you've read it 5 times.
Yeah. Just because you
Fine.
read something once doesn't mean you can't reread it again. New stuff might pop up.
You know the physical books can't be edited, right?
Well, sometimes it takes a new set of eyes. First time I read this book, I was 13. Proceeded to go on when I was 16, 18, 20, and now. So
That
there's
wasn't
these-
even remotely what I asked you, but... You know what? Forget it. I want to commission that shirt too.
I have other things in my life to do outside of just commissioning shirts, you know.
It's a cool shirt. Why not make some extra cash?
That's not the point.
Or at
of
least a
why I-
sticker.
You know, that's not the point why I wear it.
No,
It's
I
not-
know.
And she'll look over at you for a second. How much are you willing to give me?
How much are you charging?
um, she'll just kind of have this smirk and she'll put her head on the edge of the book. If you're asking, that doesn't mean you can afford it, does it?
$50 a shirt.
I was gonna say 30, but I'll happily take 50 since you're the one who pointed it out. But you know what that means, right? I will make the shirt for you, under the condition you come back next year. I'll let you
Fine.
sit and stew on that. Good! Excellent business decision. And she'll actually reach her hand out, shake on it.
Fine.
Good.
Dives into her food.
I didn't think business was in my future, but hey. And she'll just go back to reading. She'll just go right back into reading. Would you guys have managed to make your food selections at this point?
Yes. I would have waited until everyone was sat down to figure out where I was gonna, like, before leaving my post and going and sitting down. So once everyone else is sitting together, I'll. If you guys choose to sit together, I don't know what you're doing yet. So.
I think Tara would, by default, go to her usual spot of like sitting at a table alone.
Where is this table, Matt?
It is the table that's like next to the bathroom that nobody wants.
I'm trying to think. Do you think, since it's a bit of a long hallway, I'd imagine the bathrooms are like all the way on the opposite wall of where the doors are. Can you roll me a d20, Matt?
I don't have a D.
Okay, then roll me your
I had 3d6. I was prepared for one thing.
I'll roll a d20 for you.
Okay, can you roll a d20 in Matt's stead, please?
10.
Okay. So, while you're in the midst of eating, Tara, you'll kind of gloss up just for a brief instance. You know, as you normally would from eating, you might, like, look around for a little bit. And you'll actually notice that Murray is standing in the doorway of the mess hall, and it looks like he's talking to somebody. You can't see who this other person is, though. But he looks very engaged in conversation. And you're not going to be able to hear everything just because the whole mess hall is filled with counselors and it's loud and reverberating off the walls. But you'll pick up on it.
I'm gonna scoot closer.
Yes.
Try and listen in and figure out who he's talking to.
Give me a monster roll.
Oh, come on. I had a better number and then you failed me. That would have succeeded before, but because I failed and now it's a 3, it is a fail.
So now you're down to a 2.
Unless I could argue that I'm prepared by being the one that no one notices, but eh. Erased, put it a 2. Now I'm freaking sunshiny like Rowboat over there.
I'll say, because I love you,
It's fine. I can just fail it. It's okay.
I'll say this. I'll say you failed it. You can keep your level at a 3. But what I will say is, in the midst, would you have grabbed your food tray?
I would have, like, taken a bit of food. And by the way, Tara's food was too much bacon and 1 apple.
I don't see it's a problem with that. What
That
are you
was
talking
that was
about,
the
Matt?
breakfast order.
That's a good breakfast.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I will say that you took the bite of food and started trying to inch your way closer towards the door. So I'll let you keep your 3, except your foot is actually going to catch on a piece of plywood that's kind of inched up. Your foot will get stuck, and you're going to just royally eat it, just boom, onto the floor. And anyone who would have been sitting nearby would have seen it. But when you look back up, you're actually going to notice Murray didn't hear that you tripped, but he's clearly occupied, and he actually moves away from the door frame. So you still have no idea who it was he was speaking with.
I'm just going to live down here now. This is where I live. Just like eat the apple like on the floor. I'm not getting up. I'm committed to this bit.
Oh no.
Kevin walks over and sits down with his tray on the floor next to Tara.
Aww.
I like this. This is cool. This is good new perspective. I like it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Rowan like walks past while like making her way to Ebony's table. I was like, how's that floor taste?
Oh,
Better than your weed.
Immediately she's upset again. She goes back.
Living for this.
This is the camp rivalry you paid for.
Amazing.
I would also like to say, there's all this amazing food that you've described. Kevin has Lucky Charms that he has sorted the marshmallows out of. So he just, all the cereal is like thrown on the tray and it's just a bowl of Lucky Charms marshmallows. That's his entire breakfast.
I feel attacked again the second time in this entire episode.
Because
No
you
milk?
do that or you hate that?
I played the fifth on that answer.
We will never know. We won't know.
I'm the DM. You can't tell me what to do.
I know what my question is.
Oh yeah.
How do you have your Lucky Charms?
You want to waste your question on that? Amazing.
100%.
No, I don't, but it's
Use
funny.
it. No, do it. That's great.
I used to eat just the marshmallows first and leave all
Yeah.
of the bits later. And I'd be sad
A good
about
part
it.
of the cereal.
At least you don't have the psychosis I do, where I organize the marshmallows into like their bits as I'm getting lower and lower on the cereal, so that the last bite can be one of each marshmallow.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
I
I've
eat
never had
around the
Lucky Charms,
marshmallows
but-
until there is nothing left except for marshmallows, and then I
Yeah.
drink marshmallow milk.
Oh, I would absolutely do that.
See, I have mine without milk. There's only like one cereal that I have with milk. This is
Oh,
a
I was gonna say,
random-
don't tell
really
me you're one of
random
those
tangent.
people. Don't tell me you're one of those people that has like juice or water with their cereal.
Just dry.
Just,
Yeah.
Okay.
Just a bowl of. Okay, so Kevin's thing is now it is a bowl of Lucky Charm marshmallows with orange juice poured on.
No!
top.
There you go. Is this what you paid for, you guys watching at
Yes.
home? Is this the
You all
content
wanted
you
a
want?
horror game.
Mm-hmm. There's your horror.
The real
Did you
horror.
brush your teeth right before you actually ate all this? So now the orange juice tastes like ass. All right,
Yep.
good. We're on par with this. This is great. Okay.
So I think we finished breakfast.
Okay, we finished breakfast. This is such a triggering subject. Jesus Christ.
Tara looks Tara looks very grateful for Kevin, and then looks at his bowl and is like, actually has the thought, I'd rather have the pot. Oh.
Awesome.
All right. Breakfast is done for all of you. So, all the camp counselors will gradually start to file out. You guys get about an hour before all of the kids start rolling in on all the buses for the day. And, Tara, when you leave, you're actually, since you were the one who tried spotting, Murray while he was at the door, you start, like, kind of glancing around looking for him when you leave, and you'll notice that he's actually in the parking lot with a state trooper car. He's starting to speak with, or he is currently speaking with whoever is behind the driving wheel. And you can't hear much of what's happening, but you'll notice that they seem like they're kind of ending the conversation as the officer looks like he's grabbing, doing buttons and whatnot and getting the car ready to go. So,
Is this something we've ever seen before?
nope. You would have heard stories of the state police don't necessarily swing by regularly towards this camp. And when they did in the past, you knew it was for more serious stuff. But at least in the time that you have been a counselor here, and the times that you were a camper here, you can't recall there being an instance where the state troopers showed up.
Gotcha.
Hmm.
Tara's just gonna, I assume Kevin's nearby, and is gonna give K-Rock a little like nudge with her elbow and like point over. That seems weird.
Oh yeah. Kind of strange, I guess. I don't know, maybe somebody like got in an accident on the way here or something. I think all the counselors are here though, I'm pretty sure. I don't know.
Why'd they be talking to Murray about an accident?
I don't, you know, like if it was like one of the like if there
yeah.
was a counselor on their way here or something, updating him or something like that. But yeah, do I know? Like, Melissa? Are all the counselors here? Like, has everybody showed up?
As far as you're aware, yes. Murray hasn't made any note or anything as to counselors missing. If there were anything of like any important notes, he would have addressed all of you at one point before, either during the time you were all at breakfast or leading up towards breakfast. He would have notified you.
Yeah, I don't know. I think everybody's here. Maybe they're talking about it to him about his criminally offensive music taste.
Let's. Yeah. Maybe.
I'm sure he'll tell us if we need to know.
That's true. He's usually pretty good about letting us know what's going on.
While you do that, you'll notice that the state trooper actually starts to pull out of the parking lot. And Murray looks a little disheveled. He looks like he's a bit stressed, which, for you all who have been here before, you don't see Murray stressed. So this is very different than what all of you are used to. He's kind of rubbing his hand. He takes his hat off and he's kind of like rubbing his hand along his bushy hair. Just kind of standing in the parking lot for a minute. And then he starts walking back towards the camp as he readjusts his hat. And he'll reach for the whistle that's around his neck and he'll actually pull it up and blow into it to try and capture everyone's attention. All right, y'all gather around now. And he's actually going to walk up the stairs leading to the mess hall so that he's standing at a slightly elevated platform so that he'd be able to look at all of you. Well, in case y'all didn't notice, there was a little visit from our lovely state troopers who came to give us a bit of a message. Apparently, there's some two yuppie city folk who decided that them influencers wanted to take an adventure all the way through the woods here. They've been reported missing for about 3 days, and they haven't shown any signs of popping up. So, state troopers decided that they needed to notify everybody here and then within the surrounding vicinities, like Cedar Falls, just to keep an eye out in case they find them. Most likely we won't be seeing them, but if y'all see anything somewhat suspicious, y'all make sure you come and talk to me about it. Any questions?
Yeah. If they're just influences, then it's probably a stunt.
Apparently they've done stunts like this before for some of them videos, and they apparently don't stay out this late. They usually just do everything overnight.
That was also more of a statement. Tara whispers that, like only the people nearby her hear that.
Are they anteing up there? Wait, are they upping the ante? There's your question.
No, apparently this was some spectacle they tried planning for before. And their families are getting a bit worried. They've done similar antics like this, but they've been gone and without contacting their families for longer than usual. So, all of you now have the fun responsibility of looking for these two yuppies in addition to taking care of all the kids. Any questions?
Question?
Yes, Ebony.
How are we supposed to go looking for people if we're busy working and we're not allowed in the forest?
You're allowed in the forest with the buddies. But there's also some activities for the kids that do require y'all to be in the forest, like orienteering, bushcraft, and anything of the sort. It's not actively you looking for them. We're not a search party. We have the kids to think about first. This is more along the lines of while y'all are in the forest or out by the lakes or whatnot, if you see anything suspicious, you just report back to me. Sound like a plan for everybody?
Yep. You have fun with that, K-Dog.
I'm sure it's just the man-eating bears. That's probably what got him.
Oh, yeah. I hope they got a really gory last video.
You think that they're dead?
Horribly mutilated, at least.
Statistically speaking, if you go radio silent for more than 24 hours, you're very likely to be dead or lost.
Or just sick of society.
But
Keep an eye out.
I need to remind y'all that the forests up here are very large. They could be anywhere. So there is more than a likelihood that y'all won't be finding anybody out here. So don't worry too much about it. Y'all just focus on your responsibilities to the kids, and that's all we gotta worry about. Alright, everyone, team break. Does like the really awkward clap with his hands at the end. And he'll start going into the mess hall, actually, to kind of report in on stuff. Sorry, not the mess hall. He'll go into his office. He's gonna go into his office so that he can get clipboards, since it has all the names of the kids who are coming in. And he'll come back out. Alright, first bus will be showing up in about 10 minutes. So all y'all counselors, please make sure you get all your stuff situated and come right back over here so we can welcome the first group of campers for this year's Camp Brittlebone Expedition. And then he'll start going back towards the parking lot just so that he could start receiving everybody who finally comes in.
Here we go.
I'm excited.
How many kids are there usually?
A couple dozen.
Each?
No, not. Well, depends on which groups are bigger.
Yeah, how does it actually work? Is it 100 kids come and they get split into groups? Or is it like 20 kids and they all stay together the whole time? Or how does camp work?
Is it like home
Only-
group?
There's like, camps usually in the US, they would last about a week or so, especially if kids are younger. And they'll do multiple rotations. So there'll be a set number of kids, like 30, 40 kids. They'll all be split up equally amongst all of the counselors and such for their respective activities. They'll do rotations on each day. So one group of kids might do fishing for the first day. The next day they'll do kayaking or canoeing, or they'll do bushcraft, or, anything else that's along those lines. It'll vary from camp to camp, but that's essentially the general gist of what's happening. All right. So, you'll see the first school bus starts to roll in, and you'll see like all these little heads of campers, all these high school kids who are, messing around with each other, having a bunch of fun, getting excited of the fact that either they're at their first day of camp ever, or they're coming back to their first day of camp. First bus comes to a rolling halt, the doors open, and Murray with his clipboard will be right outside, and he'll start counting to make sure that the right number of kids is coming off the bus, and he'll check for all of their names as they're starting to leave. And the first kid that y'all will actually see is Mason. Now, just to clarify, Haley, has Mason been here before? Have you seen him before?
I don't know. Yeah, I reckon he would have.
Okay.
Yes.
So you'll see Mason coming down from the steps with his scraggly hair. It's just, he looked like he just rolled out of bed that morning. No amount of hair gel would be able to tame the amount of hair going like everywhere on this kid's head. And Mason has a big backpack on, and he's kind of looking around to see what's there. And his eyes lay on you, and you just see this frantic wave coming from Mason where he's like, Rowan! And he'll start running over and he'll give you a big hug.
I give him a hug back, and when he pulls back, I hand him a muesli bar. I'm like, here you go. Hand him a little fanny pack.
Good. I'm so glad. I've been meaning to come back. I've been wanting to tell you so much since I started high school this year.
I can't wait to hear about the year you've had. I really am excited.
Yeah. Wait, are you having fun so far?
Yeah, it's been good. We've been here one night, and yeah, it's been nice. So you go get situated and meet up with your friends. I'll see you later.
Okay, cool. And he'll start running off towards the little meeting area where some of the other counselors are meaning to keep the kids contained until they get sorted into their respective places. A few other kids will come off of the bus. They'll start like waving to some of the counselors that they would have known. Or there's some kids who are like big doe-eyed. They've never been there before. They're kind of looking around the whole place. And next on the docket is actually Donald. So Donald will be marching his way down on the steps, and he'll lock eyes with you, K-Rock. And would you have known Donald before?
No, I think he just moved here, so this
Right.
is like his first time.
So he'll kind of lock eyes on each of you, and since this is Donald's first time at the camp, he's a little bit lost, to say the least. He's not really sure on direction. Donald, I would picture, would be a little bit more of like a scene kid, maybe. if that's the direction you were going. You know, he has like combed over hair, like, you know, shaved on one side. Hair is just completely edging the line of his the other side of his face. And he has like Green Day shirt on, like a really retro kind of shirt. He's wearing a long sleeve shirt underneath it, you know, a black one to match with the other one. And he has like these cargo pants that are clearly too long for him, and they have like a couple of chains hanging. He has his backpack, and he's kind of just like looking around, not really sure. He's trying to judge like where the best place to go is, and he's kind of just lost standing there.
Hey man, what's up? Well,
Hey.
what's your name?
I'm Donald. I'm not really sure what to be doing here, to be perfectly honest.
Oh, hey Donald. Yeah, no, you're good. I'm K-Rock, one of the counselors here. I've been here a bunch, so if you need anything, come ask me. You know, answer any questions, whatever you got. But for now, just, you know, come on in, take a load off. You can put your bag down, like, just hang out, meet some people. There's the other campers are all filing in over time.
Well, we're only here for a week. I don't know if I can really make any friends.
You know, you say that, but some of my best friends I met here. You got like the he points to Rowan. Rowan's been here for a while. A little rowboat over there. You can call her that. It's a great nickname. She loves it. You know, we were campers around the same time, and like we're pretty good friends now. So who knows? Maybe you'll come back next year as a counselor too.
Donald will look over to you, Rowan, and he'll just say, "I'm sorry." And then he'll just kind of walk off.
I just nod in agreement, and then that's it.
All right.
I feel like
Now-
I've been insulted.
So Donald will, you know, kind of take your lead, and he'll start migrating his way over towards where the other campers are kind of waiting and getting situated. And the energy changes, right? You have all of these high school kids who are like really vamped and, you know, getting super stoked at the fact that they're at camp. So they're the wake-up call for any counselors who have not necessarily woken up yet. Next on the docket, coming down, you have Ashley. Little Ashley steps down from the
Gallops
steps.
down, you mean? Sorry.
Oh my god.
Leave 5-year-old me alone.
So Ashley will actually start coming down from the steps and get situated. And you'll notice that she's actually kind of like going up on her tiptoes, trying to look for someone in particular. Oh god, what does Twitch have to say now?
No, nothing.
No, Haley was doing a very silly
Oh.
thing.
Trotting.
But Ashley will be this young lady who has like long pigtails, like bright blonde, platinum blonde hair. And you can see, all of you can see, she's kind of like trying to stretch and like jump up and try and see if she could find anybody specifically, while she's starting to migrate her way towards all of the other campers.
Do I know her?
I thought
She's
we...
your,
I
she's your
think my
cousin,
cousin.
remember?
You're
Yeah,
right.
that's
your
right. I was
cousin.
like, wait, which characters?
Oh god.
Over here, Ash.
Ebony! And she'll drop her stuff and she'll just book it towards you, and she's gonna give you the biggest
Wow.
hug around your middle.
Yep. Okay, we're doing that.
And she's not letting go either. She like has a vice grip around your middle while she's giving you a hug. Ebony, I'm so glad you're finally here. I didn't think you'd make it.
Neither did I, and I don't think I will if you keep breaking my ribs.
But they're a sign of love.
I need them.
Oh, fine, I guess. She'll loosen her grip around your middle. I'm so excited you're actually here. I didn't think you'd take the job.
Neither did I, but why not?
Well, it's
Also,
good.
and she's gonna like reach over and like play with one of the braids. You need to stop copying my hairstyle.
Who said I was copying? Last I checked, I was the originator of this.
Who taught you how to braid?
Mom.
Who taught her how to braid?
Oh crap, you did.
I have to say, I love the implication here that Ebony, a 20-something-year-old, taught this high schooler's mother how to braid.
Yep.
My auntie.
She's just never braided hair before.
This family dynamic's incredible.
Yeah.
I'm here for it.
I guess you did.
Just don't put colored ribbons in it.
She's gonna, like, kind of kick her foot around her bag because there's clearly colored ribbons hiding in one of the pockets. And she's like, I would never do that. Kicks the bag, tries to hide it.
Mm-hmm. Don't tell anyone. And use this information sparingly. I'm in that cabin over there. Now go and put your shit away.
No, you're not supposed to say that word either.
Go and put your crap away.
Okay. I'll come and hang out later with you, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I've got you for one of my activities.
Sweet. Cool. Okay. Why are we whispering?
Go and put your stuff away.
Okay. And she's gonna quickly grab her stuff and then kind of like drag it while she's running to meet up with the others. Because she's just too excited to just yeet this bag over her shoulder.
Oh my god, it's not as heavy as a saddle. Just pick it up.
More at this time, there would have been a couple more buses, so they're all kind of lining up next to one another. where all the doors will open, more of these kids are going to start clamoring it out from these buses. And then there's one kid who has a bunch of gear that you didn't expect when they were climbing out from these buses. There's this kid who has very round glasses. He's got jet black hair. And this kid is wearing, whatever those overalls are that fishermen wear when they're like waist deep in water. Waders, that's it. And it's got like the overalls on it, you know, nice and tight. And he's wearing a plaid shirt underneath it just to add more to, you know, the outfit choices. He has a full-on tackle box on his side, along with a full-size backpack. And clearly these waders are too big for him. So you hear squeak, squeak, squeak from the
never
rubber.
been used before.
Yep.
They're brand new.
It's shiny. It's brand spanking new. The rubber doesn't even have creases on it because they haven't been touched prior to this day. And this kid just looks like he has the ultimate wedgie where he's kind of like waddling off of the bus.
Yep.
Because there's just so much of it. And he has this big grin on his face and he's like, all right, finally made it. And he's trying to like awkwardly push his glasses up. And he's like, where do I go now? And he's still just looking around. He's a deer in headlights. This kid knows nothing of where to go.
Yeah, you go over to the main table and they'll get you grouped up where you gotta go. You're new to those, aren't you? She points at the waiters.
This is a brand new set I got. The old ones were
Mhm.
a little bit all busted up and stuff, so I couldn't really think that they'd last this long for camping.
Sure. You know you're supposed to wait till you're like almost in the water to put those on, right? They're not like bus apparel.
Fish is life, though. I need to make sure I'm ready to catch the big one.
Okay, big one's gonna be in the lake, not on the bus, kid. Want me to help you with the tackle box? You are prepared.
He's actually gonna grab the box and he's gonna be a little protective and kind of turn, like,
All right,
Oh.
I'll help you with how about the backpack? I can help you with that.
I guess that's fine. And he'll loosen the strap just so that it's a little bit more accessible to you. I have a lot of expensive bobs and reels and everything in here.
Hey, I get it. You know, important to be prepared and all that. I'm Tara, and he just holds out like a fist for a fist bump.
I'm Kyle, and he'll return the same fist bump. I was told I couldn't bring my fishing lure or anything. They said there wasn't enough space on the bus.
Well, it's also a sharp object. Might have been the other reason. We've got fishing lures and bait and everything you'll need here.
That's not the newer models.
You don't need the newer models. There's an old phrase. It is not the arrow. It is the archer.
Well, the archer's probably as old as the arrow if you got the shitty stuff here.
You don't really get metaphors, do you?
What's a metaphor?
Okay, let's get you checked in.
So, squeak, squawk, squeak,
Squawk.
squawk,
Oh,
squawk.
God. Oh.
And it's not any better going on the grass either. It adds more because with like rocks and shit inside the soil, you hear the boots just go. So-
Amazing.
All the kids finally made it. Murray goes through the whole list to make sure that everyone is accounted for, no campers are missing, and everyone gets sent off to their respective cabins. And with that, we're actually going to take our quick break. So go ahead and be sure to grab your bathroom snacks, get your water so you hydrate, and come back for part 2 of this episode.
Put on your wellies.
Oh, God. Don't be like Kyle. Don't wear your willies.
Bye, everybody. Be back soon.
Hi, campers. Welcome back. All right.
Hello, campers.
Hi,
Hi-ho!
So inside you spit,
What I
don't
get?
forget to bring a towel.
I'm just trying to keep
We
a theme,
jinxed it in the
guys.
wrong words, and I love it more than anything. Character jinx.
Oh my god. Hi everybody, welcome back. So, if you're new here, if you just joined us, hi, howdy, welcome. We're currently in the second episode of Heart of Ice with Monsters and Counselors, the amazing TTRPG game that's by Pandion Games, which all of you should check out. It's nice and affordable, and it's a fun time. So, when we left off, hopefully all of you have your bathroom snacks, your toilet snacks, however Dustin puts it, because it's interchangeable each week. And your water.
Latrine
All y'all
grapes.
are-
Bathroom berries.
My berries.
Don't forget your berries.
Berries and cream. Berries and cream.
Oh, Jesus Christ, Matt.
I don't get that reference, but Haley's reaction was very funny.
We'll tell you what it is later.
I'll send you
this
the
is
video later.
it's just more
Okay.
American euphemisms and colloquialisms we have to teach you too. It's just... Anyway,
It's just me. We've seen how slow and dumb I am.
no. Anyway, just when we last left off before our break, all of the campers started migrating their way towards camp and started getting situated, where our counselors knew some people, and then some of our other counselors met some new campers, where it's their first time in Camp Brittlebone. And some of you, Tara, and then informing K-Rock about it, found out about, ended up seeing Murray speaking to state troopers before all of you were notified about two influencers who wound up getting lost not too long ago. And it's just something to keep an eye on. No active searches. It's not your primary concern. The primary concern is still making sure that the kids are safe and that they have fun. Fast forwarding a little bit, all of the kids got assigned to their respective cabins. They got all of their stuff put away. They got situated. Everyone was given the grand tour, for lack of a better word, of all of the major points on the map with regards to where everything is in Camp Brittlebone. Same spiel all of you got yesterday. The kids start filing up in a big solid group, not too far from where the fire pit is. And the counselors are also doing the same thing. So Murray, in all of his sunglasses glory, is standing right in the middle with his little clipboard. I had to think for a minute. With this clipboard that has all of the kids that just arrived at the camp. There's about, oh god, how many? I need to double check my numbers. Yep, not that one. There we go.
47.
1, 2, 3, 4. So there's 30 kids in total. And Murray starts shouting out to all the kids, all right, all the campers start settling around here. We gotta go and do some tallying really quickly. High school kids start to gather, and the counselors are kind of in like a loose circle around the outside as the kids are going to start being divided off in different groups. All right, some of you have been here before, some of you kiddos, and some of you are new here. So here are the rules. All of you are going to be divided up into different colored groups. You got red. I need to get my own rules here. We have red, orange, green, blue, indigo, and violet for all the different camp groups. I'll be calling out your name under each designated group, and all of y'all have to go to that respective area. And Murray will actually point to some of the other counselors that are kind of, they're just like marking points so that each kid knows exactly which group to huddle up with. All right. Once all of y'all get situated, all the counselors will be assigned to each of you directly. He'll start calling off each name, and you'll see one kid go at a time to each of the groups, whatever their colors might be. And for Mason, Ashley, Donald, and Kyle, they are all under the orange group. Murray then starts going down the list of all of the other counselors, and they start kind of going off one at a time. And he calls each of your names as well. And all four of you, along with like a couple of the other counselors that are on site, will actually be also designated in the orange group. Alright, so all of y'all who are here for the camp for the week, listen up. I want you to take a look at all of the faces of the counselors that are in your group. They're the ones who are responsible for you. And you're also the ones who's supposed to be listening to them. I got a strong feeling something on Twitch happened and I don't know what is fucking going on. Let's see.
Taylor and I just said the exact same thing.
Yeah, I
like, we
figured
sent
as
that
much.
message
Yeah.
at the same time.
Alright, get to know their faces, because these are your counselors for your distinct group. You'll be interacting with some of the other counselors of the group, but if you had questions or concerns, you go to each of your counselors in your group. Do you understand? You'll hear like a resounding yes from all of these kids, like, yeah, and then you have the more excited ones, yeah! You know? Alright, so, with regards to the activities for today, Murray's gonna be like going through each of the pages of his book to kind of see where that giant list is. Alrighty, what do we got here? We have... first off, we got the red group. They're gonna be doing archery today. Orange group, y'all will be doing fishing down at the docks. Green group, y'all will be responsible for cooking in the mess hall. Blue, and he'll start listing off all of these things, so he's not really paying attention if you guys are going to be talking to one another or if you're going to start talking to some of the kids.
Kyle fist pumps when he hears Orange Group is on fishing.
You just see this. And then he'll actually turn and look at you, Tara. He's like, see, I came prepared.
You see, Mason is literally like shivering in his boots, like, the dock's the first day. His favorite spot.
Alrighty.
We
And
have to
Ashley-
wait for him to finish, or can we just go?
Just gotta wait for him to finish talking. It's
Yeah.
okay, we don't. It's fine.
Ashley
He
will
looked
actually look up at you, Ebony, and she'll go, shh. And she'll just keep looking immediately at Murray.
Oh, I like her.
Cute.
Well, sorry, Aunt Donna.
Alright, so Murray will like finish off the list and he's like, alright, now all of y'all know what your assigned tasks are for today. Since all of y'all got here a little bit later, we're all just gonna keep it to one activity today just to get it started. That way you all know what's gonna happen in the next following 6 days while you're here at camp. Making sure, rule number 1, making sure you have a buddy with you at all times. If you get separated from any of the camp counselors, make sure you have a buddy. That way you guys aren't by yourselves. He's doing the exact same spiel that all of you got from the first day. And he'll actually reach down when he gets to the rule about phones, and he'll pick it up, and it's a much bigger box this time.
Mhm.
I'm talking like the ones that you get in the office that have like the handles on the side. He just takes it off. And he's like, all right, y'all know the drill. All the kids are groaning and complaining. They're like, what the fuck? You know, just all of the same teenager shit that you'll end up getting.
This is Tara's favorite part.
So all the kids like begrudgingly start turning in their phones. And Murray will actually look over at you, Ebony, and kind of give you that wink of like, I know exactly what you did. And he'll start putting in, he'll start waiting for the kids to like begrudgingly put their phones away. Some of the kids are fine with it because it's the same rule every single year. And he'll actually walk up to you, Ebony, and he's like, you wanna make sure you set an example for all the kids.
I don't know what you're talking about.
So that dupe of a phone you gave me yesterday wasn't much of a lie, though, was it?
I'm working at a summer camp. Do you think I can afford a different phone?
Roll monster roll.
I'm just really glad that's what he was winking at her for. I was very
Who?
confused as to how she got this job.
All right, let me just double check. Yeah, so you're still good. He was like, all right. He'll keep walking around, getting the rest of the kids' phones. So you still have your phone for now. So, after all the phones get situated and he explains the rest of the rules to the rest of the campers, Murray will announce that he's available at his office should anybody need him for any emergency, because he has some other stuff he has to take care of since it's officially the first day. So now the responsibility is on all of you guys. Since there's only one activity today, for you guys who have been here before, you would know it's just the one activity that kind of carries over into lunch. And then the rest of the afternoon is more or less a break. So just a small intro for the new kids who are there so they're not overwhelmed on their first day. Nice, subtle intro to what the rest of the week would look like. So, your group starts migrating its way down with a couple of other counselors that are with all of you towards the docks, right next to Everhune Lake. And, Kyle, in all of his rubbery glory, is just, like, beelining it, like, he's just, like, booking it, and he still has his tackle box in hand, and he's like, fuck yeah! You know, he's just gunning for it. He's running ahead of everybody, and a couple of the other counselors are, like, scrambling to get him to, like, you know, stay
Yeah, I was gonna
within
say,
reach.
Rowan was like, no, don't run. Not near the docks.
Wait, the tackle box is completely covered. There's nothing wrong with it. Nothing's gonna pop out.
I was worried about you falling, but that's okay.
Well, I haven't fallen in these yet.
I give him 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a penguin.
Yep. March of
And-
the Kyles.
Ashley will actually, like, run up alongside you, Ebony, and she'll actually grab a hold of your hand. Like, this is so exciting! We finally get the chance to hang out again like this! She's not, like, hiding any of the affection whatsoever. She's just super stoked that she gets to spend time with you.
Because every other school break isn't enough?
Wait,
That was actually way more
That was real mean.
grudgy. That was real grudgy. that did not come out the way Ebony intended.
but this is just a week without anybody else in the family. It's just the two of us.
Yep.
And we get to fish, too, now. I don't think I've ever fished before. Uncle Dudley doesn't let me near any sharp stuff.
Yeah, he's a paranoid weirdo. Don't worry about him.
Well, now you can teach me.
I know nothing about fishing.
I thought you were a lot smarter than this, Ebony. See who I get it from?
Remember what Uncle Dudley said about sharp objects? I do archery.
Well, at least the times I've seen you do it, they put the rubber end on it because I don't think the instructors trusted you enough.
Oh no, they trusted me. To hit them.
Well, I just remembered you being very upset because it always threw off your game. Or it was a nice cover in case you didn't have any.
Pull my hand out and give her a shove.
She'll be laughing and she'll just keep walking. Mason, you'll see, is kind of like hands are getting like a little twitchy at the idea. He's not swimming, right? It's not a matter of anybody getting into the water for fishing, but he's kind of like nervously like picking at the collar of his shirt, and he's like having a hard time keeping like his body still.
Mason, you good?
Huh?
You alright?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Nervous around water? Again? Still?
No.
I'll stay with you if you like.
We're not getting in the water, it's fine.
I know, but that's alright. Well, I'll keep an eye on you, alright?
You can't let anybody know, okay?
I won't. And I mean, you can be scared of the water, it's fine.
It's... Oh, there's just more to it now.
What?
And he'll, like, kind of look around to see, like, how close everyone is. Can I tell you later?
Yeah. Come grab me whenever you need.
Just don't want to say anything with too many people around.
That's all good. Well, let's catch up with the rest so we don't lag behind.
Okay. And he'll start picking up the pace so he kind of follows along your steps. And Donald, in the meantime, is not really engaging with anybody. He's kind of more just taking in the scenery a bit with his hands inside the massive ass pockets of like his Jinko jeans. And you'll actually notice that he managed to slip earbuds. And it's kind of like tucked underneath his shirt, where he's hoping that it's like not conspicuous enough for people to notice. And you'll see that with each step he takes, he's kind of like bobbing his head just the tiniest bit, but he's kind of in his own zone right now.
This is killing me because this is literally just me in high school. Like I used to be in class with headphones tucked into my shirt, listening to music
Just
instead
said
of class.
shut.
Yeah, incredible.
Oh my god. So all of you managed to migrate your way all the way down towards the docks. One of the other counselors who's paired up with all of you will actually open the door, and they'll start like rummaging through the shelves to make sure that the right lures are taken out, the right bobs are taken out, weights, the little thingies, the little red and white ones for all of you at home that
Sinkers,
indicate,
boys.
yep, sinkers. You just go boop when you get a fish. And you'll actually notice that one of the other counselors actually grabs from a tiny ass, like college looking refrigerator that just looks beat up to shit. And it just has the two shelves and then whatever the freezer is. And on the inside are little styrofoam containers that have a plastic lid on top. And Ashley, being genuinely curious, walked up when one of the other counselors takes the lid off, and she screams because she sees that there's all these worms that are tucked in this like mass of soil. And they're just like reaching out and stuff. It was all moisture and stuff since they were kept in the fridge. And she screams and runs to hide behind you, Ebony. And she's like gripping onto your clothes tight, like, what are those?
I feel like
Punch.
that would be 100% something that Tara does. Tara loves getting the worms out and seeing which kids are gonna freak or not gonna freak.
Well, the counselor will actually hand over, since there were so many, that
Mhm.
they'll actually hand over one of the spare ones to you so that somebody else can help in getting all the bait ready.
Tara's gonna immediately like take it, and then assuming Kyle is at the front because he's super excited, just like jam it in his chest, like, here you go.
And then he'll start like kind of hugging the lid, and he'll kind of like peek a little bit into it, and he's like, They're real.
Yeah, that's why I said you don't need a lure. You just put a worm on it.
Yeah, I knew that. And he'll clamp it down. He'll kind of like hug it, like a little close to his chest, a little protectively. Kid's like, 16, and he's like,
You're gonna have to share those.
there's
Kevin
plenty
walks
for
up.
everybody.
Kevin walks up and says, now don't eat those all at once.
I know not to do that.
Yeah, take your time.
You look like you eat worms, and he'll run off towards the edge of the deck.
Don't run.
Ooh, sick burn.
I feel like Kevin's the kind of person who absolutely would eat a worm on a dare.
Absolutely, 100%. Yeah.
In fact, I feel like you have, and we've
Has-
all witnessed it.
Definitely
Yes.
every
And
single
there's-
person there. Yeah.
You're the one that's like, do you dare me to eat a worm? Do you dare me?
At this point, you're just fishing for shock value. You're just
Yup.
ready for the next instance.
It's not even for a reward, it's just to say, yeah, I did it. What of it?
Yep.
And in the meantime, Donald's just kind of like watching the exchange between Kyle and Tara and K-Rock, and he's just like completely unfazed at the whole thing. Like, I signed up for this. In the meantime, Mason is like kind of hugging the wall, like at the edge of the dock, so that he's the furthest away from the pier. Just like hugging. He's actually hugging the corner of the whole like dock, like shed that they got.
Mason,
Oh. Yeah.
I kind of lean down so I'm not like yelling this out. I'm whispering it, and I'm like, people will know if you act this way.
They wouldn't notice as much if you're just standing here.
You're trembling, hugging onto the shed.
I'm appreciating nature, and he hugs it more to try and prove it as a point.
Okay, I'm just gonna be right over here, safe and away from the water, and you feel free to come stand with me. And I'm just gonna stand. I'm not on the docks. I feel like I'm just off the side, keeping an eye on, like, doing the aerial view of the thing rather than keeping an eye on everyone.
Alrighty. I gotta move this shit. Alright, so let me pull out my lovely book of secrets.
Tara goes over to Rowan. Does he need help?
I don't think he wants it.
Well, he wants an anchor line. I can tie one for him.
I don't know if he's gonna get close enough to the water for that, but we'll see.
Might help him if he knows he can't fall in.
But he can fall in.
Not with an anchor line.
With a good cast, you don't have to be anywhere near the water.
Just an option.
Yes. I mean, set it up for him if you like. Please. I'm sure he'll appreciate it.
Is he like very obviously crapping himself by the shed?
Yeah.
Okay.
He in his teenage mind thinks he's being very inconspicuous, and it is just the most apparent, what the fuck are you doing? Just like that kind of think Pink Panther, with Inspector Clouseau, where he thinks he's being very stealthy and just no. So he's kind of just in hugging the wall. He's still doing it, but he has actually managed to like edge his way where only half of his face is showing now, like from the corner of the wall, kind of like, I'm not here.
Ash, you know why you're here. Go. You can't cling to me all day.
But he looks like he just crapped himself.
So do you.
At least I look cute while I'm doing it.
Go.
Fine. So she'll start like trudging up, and then she'll look over her shoulder like, and she'll migrate her way up towards Mason, still hugging the ever-loving hell out of a shed that won't return his love. Hi. And Mason is still just, hi. Can I help you? Well, you look like you're having a hard time. It's like, Mason again. I'm fine. You're not doing a good job lying, are you? I'm not lying. Look, I know I'm not really the brightest person, but I think everyone can tell that you nearly crapped yourself. And he'll actually pop out like, I did not! And Ashley will actually smile a little bit. I finally got you out. Look, you... And she'll kind of like look around and she'll lean forward. Are you scared of the water? No. No such thing. I'm scared of fish. Oh, well, that's okay. I mean, I really like horses, and they're not really all that scary, but a lot of people are kind of scared about them. So, I could tell you some fun facts I kind of know about fish. And she's clearly, like, messing around with, like, the edge of her shirt, just being a little nervous at the idea of, like, trying to socially engage with somebody else. We could just go over here and be, like, right at the edge. And you don't have to catch any fish. You don't have to pull any of them in. You just throw the line out. I've never baited it before either, so, we could both learn together. Mason kind of just, like, looks at Ashley up and down. We don't have to go near the water? No. I think Tara can help us, and she'll point towards, you, Tara. In the midst of, all this conversation. Or my cousin Ebony can help us, and she'll have this really big grin, and she'll point at you, Ebony.
I'm just from the sidelines, like, giving 2 thumbs up from, like, out of Ashley's point of view, but completely in Mason's point of view, like...
Mason actually looks like he's shitting himself right now with the... And he's like... When, you know, Ashley is looking towards Ebony, and then just suddenly... Okay. No fish. That's fine. No fish. And she'll start walking towards, like... kind of like the further edge of the lake where there's a little bit more shore and there's not as much of the water touching. And you'll see Mason kind of like shuffle his feet as he walks behind Ashley to kind of pick their spot. And then you have Donald, who is not really engaging and not really, like, looking at all the stuff. He's kind of, like, looking at one of the poles and just kind of observing it a little bit. Not really invested, so to speak. But he's just examining it just to kind of see what's there.
Is he still listening to music?
Mm-hmm. He'll have it in one ear so that it doesn't show up in the other one, in case he needs to do the quick, hey, what's up?
I'm gonna walk up and just be like, so, what you listening to?
I don't think an old person like you would know the band, but...
Old? Wait, try me. What band?
You're gonna think it's dumb.
Nah, man. All music's great. I love it.
I did a remix to Dave Matthews. I did my own spin on it.
Cool. Yeah, I'm sure that it's great.
Do you want to listen to it?
Absolutely.
That sounds very forced, Conlon.
Make
It
a council
was.
roll.
So he'll like pull back his shirt so he can like pull both of the headsets out from underneath it, and he'll give you one of the ears pod that wasn't used. That's more clean. It hasn't been in somebody else's ear. And then he'll actually go back on his music player just to the rewind button. And it starts off originally as a Davey song, but then you'll hear this mix of like perfectly synced in other tunes that fit in with the same melody, have the same chords, the same vibes. There's some switches between like different types of music waving in. And just like a lot of not orchestra, but a lot of background sounds that have been added to amplify the beats and the tones more. I clearly know what I'm talking about.
I'm just imagining like an acoustic song starting out Dave Matthews style before building into like a dubstep beat drop, like amazing.
And you'll notice actually that Donald's a little nervous watching you, like trying to receive what your facial expressions are like while you're listening in on it.
I think Kevin is having a little bit of a like musical renaissance of his own right now, as he's realizing that Dave Matthews Band is actually not that bad. I think he's like never actually listened to them. He's just heard them like on the shitty cassettes that Murray has, and he's like, he got here the first time and like everyone was like, ew, Dave Matthews is so terrible, and so he just kind of bought in. But he's like listening to this, like it's like getting him into the words now, and he's kind of just like, shit, this is actually pretty good. And then like the dubstep starts and he's like, all right, yeah.
Well,
This is really good, man. I'm impressed. Do you mix this yourself?
yeah, I usually spend a lot of my free time just making my own mixtapes.
That's pretty awesome, dude. I feel like I'm gonna pull out one of the cassettes because I think Kevin just carries like one of them on him at all times in case Murray tries to like change back to Dave Matthews Band. He's ready to like book it to the radio tower. He's like, I make the mixtapes for the music here.
He looks at the cassette and he's like, "You are a fossil, aren't you?"
No. This is just because this is literally the only thing that will plug in here. We have tried hooking up iPods and phones and anything else we can find. It like, I swear it overloads the system. It's weird.
I guess that makes sense. But
Well, maybe next year, if you come back as a counselor, you could make your own mixtape and we could toss it on. Everybody can hear that. I know Murray would really appreciate the Dave Matthews Band.
well, I kind of came here to try and learn other stuff.
Like what?
I don't know. All I've ever really done is mixtapes. My parents insisted I try and learn other things, but I don't know what that entails, really.
I don't know, man. Just like try new things. Yeah, there's all sorts of ways to learn new stuff. I guess the first thing would be trying out this whole fishing thing. That's what we're doing today. And yeah, I lead some of the bushcraft classes. I can like teach you to survive in the wilderness.
I guess that's a good place to start. do we actually have to put a live worm on the hook?
I mean, unless you got some like objection to it, it's not that bad.
All right, and he'll start grabbing each of the items to kind of get all the equipment that would be required to start learning it. So he's a little bit more open towards like actually grabbing each of the stuff after that. And then there's Kyle. So Kyle, in the midst of all of these other conversations, would have been setting up his tackle box. He would have immediately sat at the edge of the dock because he wanted the best spot for all of the fishing. And you see, when he opens up the tackle box, it's one of the multi-tier ones that as soon as the lid opens, it just like unfolds on itself. And you're seeing like really pricey stuff. You're seeing like the fake worms that have the glitter and stuff on it. They're like all silicone. You're gonna see like what's it called? I think it's like an oil or something that they put on the lures that make it smell like earthworms. It just smells like, you know, fresh earthworm. This tells you that I'm from the Midwest because I know too much about this shit. You're seeing like very standard bobbers, like the red and white ones, but then you're also seeing others that are like really fancy. Everything has not been touched. It is like the whole thing was like a kit that was purchased with all of the most expensive crap in it, and it has never been used. There's even a pocket knife that's in there that you might use to like cut the worms. Never touched. And if you notice too, some of it still has like the tag on it, like the little price label on it, and some of them might actually still have plastic he didn't realize he had to peel off. And there's like the hooks that have like the head of a fish, and it has like those fake tendrils, like the tentacle things that are all around it. So he's like, Kyle's actually a little overwhelmed because he read so much about all this stuff, and now he's just kind of like, okay, this goes here, and then I need this, and then I also need this. And he grabs like a thing of line, and it just drops in his hand out of his hands because he's so nervous, and he's like frantically pulling at the line, forgetting it's a wheel, and it just keeps coming undone. And there's just all this extra line.
Kyle,
What?
Stop pulling. It's just gonna keep coming out like that.
I knew that, and he'll get up, squish, squash, pick it up, and then he'll like kneel back down so he starts rummaging through all of his stuff.
What if we took a break from that box of yours? I'm gonna go over how to tie the knot to put the hook onto the line, and then we're gonna go over how to actually put a worm on. As a group, you don't have to be ahead of everyone.
But I got all the best stuff.
The best stuff doesn't make you the best fisherman.
You could see that Kyle looks a bit perplexed by that because he is really... He's having a hard time believing you.
I think Tara's going to... Here, watch. And she's gonna like quickly grab a worm out of the styrofoam, and she's already like strung up a hook, and is just gonna quick thread the worm on and pick out like a spot where there's like the little that little bit of like choked vegetation that sits in the water, and is just gonna toss the hook near it and try and catch something.
Can you give me a counselor roll? And since it's your expertise with knots, I'll let you do 3.
Please roll well. Okay, so for some reason my brain breaks on this. So counselor, I want to roll at or above my number.
You want to roll... You want to roll at or above your number, yes.
I got 2 successes, both of them monstrous.
Okay. Let's see. 2 successes. You did it well. Well done. And then monstrous successes. You have 2 questions you can ask me.
Ooh. do I?
Or you can save them if you wish to use them.
I'll use one right now, and this
Okay.
this is allowed to be a no. I just want to know, would I see the shoe?
Let's see. No.
Okay, I'll save the other one.
So, Kyle will be watching you very intently while you're getting the worm hooked up, doing all the intricate knots for the bob and getting the lure set up. And he's just in awe while he watches you cast the line towards the vegetation. And his shoulders are kind of like inched up because he's just so fixated on the moment. So, we pull it in now, right?
Gotta wait.
Wait for
Let
what?
it sit for a bit. Well, it's gotta get in there and smell out the place. That's technically what that stuff is for, gesturing towards that little bit of oil. But the real ones are always better because they wriggle at the same time.
Oh.
Start slowly pulling in the line, and you just give it enough movement that whatever's down there thinks it's alive.
Let's see. Okay.
And that's it. Might not always work, but rinse, repeat.
Are you gonna keep slowly pulling it in, or are you gonna let it sit?
Slowly in like little, so it gets time to settle, pulls up and moves, gets time to settle, pulls up and moves.
All right. So, in the midst of that, while Kyle's eyes are like glued to the bobber, he's just like so fixated on the whole thing, and he keeps asking like, "What about now?"
Not yet.
Thinking he's like that kid on the road trip that's just like, "Are we there yet?" Asks 5 minutes later.
In my experience, fishing's a thing you do while you're enjoying the lake. It's not something you do on its own right.
You enjoy the lake?
Yeah, it's nice. Crystal clear, and it's got just that little bit of chilliness to it.
I guess. I was just more fixated on the fish. Just wanted a really big one.
Well, if it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen. There's not a lot you can do about it. The fish gets to control that.
Yeah, I guess. And he'll sit on the edge again with like his feet over, and he'll just kind of like be sitting and just intently watching the lure. In the meantime, while all that is happening, you have Ashley still keeping Mason company. Mason was a little too nervous to have his own fishing rod and go through all the steps, but he would have watched Ashley while she was actively working on getting the bob put on the line correctly, making sure the knots are okay. The counselor that was actually with Ashley and Mason didn't use a knife to sever the worm. Instead, this is what I used to do when I would do it. They used their nail to dig into the center and just rip it. And you see Mason like start to be like, just kind of like starting to be a little woozy, and he like grips onto Ashley to make sure that she's, you know, he's not completely losing everything in his gut right before he watches her do the casting of the line. In the meantime, you have Donald, who is trying to work on his own line. So, kind of like slowly weaving, because this line is very thin. For those of you who haven't fished, it is extremely thin line. And it's shiny. It's like clear plastic, so sometimes it can be a little hard to watch it. And Donald, in the midst of trying to get the line secured, he mishandled it. And unfortunately, the hook goes right through one of his fingers. So it's clear it goes through the skin and came out on the other side. And for those of you who don't fish, the hooks are barbed. So they can't come out the way that they came in.
No, that bad boy's gonna go all the way through.
Mm-hmm. So, K-Rock, you'll actually... There is. But K-Rock, you'll actually hear, like, a sharp yelp come from Donald. Just from the shock of, you know, something really sharp clearing right through a part of your hand. And he drops the fishing line, or sorry, the fishing rod, and the other parts that come with it. So all that's on his hand right now is just the hook with, like, the little bit of string that's on it. And he's kind of, like, leaning over forward so that he's, like, cradling his hand really close.
Did you get yourself?
I think I did more than that, and he'll show his hand a little bit, and that's when you'll see the whole hook. Having done a number.
Ow. That's okay. Here, well, let's get you back to the first aid place. We'll take care of that. And I'll cut the line so that it's like unhooked. But since we don't have like wire cutters here, I'm assuming the first aid place has wire cutters.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Take him back there then.
Yeah. So he'll be like hugging his hand really close, and Kyle doesn't know what happened. He was a little too enamored with the lake and with the bob, where he's like, ooh. Mason and Ashley, on the other hand, would have seen, or at least would have heard what happened and turned to look. And sadly, Mason doesn't do that hot and just goes, block. That's just finally the one that did it in. And Ashley is just like, oh, he doesn't look good.
Oh, I go and I'm gonna pick up Mason, and I guess we're taking him to the first aid too.
Do you want me to carry him? You can walk with Donald.
Yeah.
That way, if he passes out again, he's not taking you both down.
Sounds good.
Cool.
And I'm gonna, stand behind.
Ashley will just, like, glance up to you, Ebony. Is he gonna be okay?
Yeah, he'll be fine. Taking a horse hoof to the head is a lot worse.
How are you not dead?
That only happened one time. I had a helmet on.
That would.
Once again, how are you not dead?
Yeah. Mom put extra padding in mine.
Yeah, and it was needed.
Well, you got dropped on the head when you were born. And she'll just go back and throw the other.
It was meaning that the helmet was too big. You were lucky.
Oh.
God, not everything I say is an insult.
It does sound.
I'm
not there.
Well, that's something that Aunt Claire told me in confidence. I maybe shouldn't have said that.
Well, Aunt Claire and I are going to be having words after camp.
If
There's
you
a bitch.
remember. Sorry. And she'll throw it again. So Mason, in the meantime, is just, flopping around like a dead fish. Fishing joke. Sorry. So Mason is, not looking that hot, very pale to look at, and just honestly, like, dead weight at this point. And Donald is holding his hand really close towards his chest while he's walking with you, Rowan. While the two of you are leading the kids towards the three main buildings that are right next to one another: the mess hall, the nurses' hall, and then the admin office of the camp leader. The two of you will actually notice that the door to Murray's office is slightly ajar.
That's not normal, is it?
No.
So that Rowan immediately is going to go peek in. Wait up. Or how far out of the way am I going? Am I going like 10
It's
feet?
right
or am
next
I going-
door to the
Yeah, cool.
nurses' station, so.
I'm going to look in because I'm curious and overly cautious.
All right, Aunt Claire.
So you open the door?
I'm not there.
You open the door? Or do you kind of look
Oh.
inside the window first to see?
If the door's ajar, I am looking through the door.
You'll notice that, for the most part, it just looks like the door more or less was just, what do you call it? Just didn't catch when it closed. Papers seem to be in order. There's, like, nothing strewn about everywhere. You'll notice, though, that on the landline that's on Murray's desk, the top portion of it is not actually in all the way. It looks like it was hurriedly put down before, wherever Murray decided to walk off to.
Rowan's just gonna, walk into the room, pick up the phone, and put it back down. Wait, is there anyone there?
Nope, it's just a dial tone right now.
Cool, yeah, so she puts it down, and then she's just gonna walk out and get the door shut properly.
You don't want to investigate further?
I have a look.
Okay.
Like, if there's anything that I see, but she's not a snooper, so she's not, she's just cautious. So she's she doesn't like that this door's open, and she wants to she wants to put it back to the way it should be.
Okay.
So if I see anything, sure, but I don't know if she's, snooping, so it depends on what kind of information there would be. If it's in a drawer, no, she doesn't look.
Okay.
But if it's, if there's something out on the desk or something that would have caught her eye, then she would have peeked.
Give me a
I want to make sure
counselor
everything's
roll.
in order.
Mhm. Give me a counselor roll and do... Do one die for me.
Just one?
Mhm.
I got a 1.
You get a
So it's
one.
just fail.
Fail. Oh no. You don't see anything else out of place as far as you're concerned. You've been inside Murray's office multiple times, so if something looked objectively wrong, you would have seen it.
Yep.
So you just close the door.
Make sure it actually latches this time. And move on to the first aid office. I do that pretty quickly. I didn't linger or anything like that. It feels like that was maybe a 30-second or less activity.
So, Mason is flopped on one of the beds in all of his glory.
Given him
Eh.
a rag soaked in vinegar or ammonia to open up his brain.
You'll notice, well, since you've worked here long enough, you'll actually know there's a small vial of smelling salts inside the cabinet.
Red.
Oh,
The
God.
ammonia does the same thing. It's the same smell. It's fine.
Okay, hold on, let me just do... Okay, well, it worked a little too well, because as soon as Mason woke up, you see all of the color still is not in his face, and he leans over and pukes all over the floor from the shock.
Okay. Next time, let's find a trash can.
Hmm.
There's a bucket.
That's great. I kicked the bucket over to him.
I don't
Alright,
think
alright.
I need it anymore.
Okay, well, hold on to it just in case. Donald, why don't we go over here, away from that. We'll take care of this.
All right. And his hand is just like shaking a little bit just because of the pain of, your fingies are sensitive. So, it's not a pleasant experience. I don't think fishing is one of the fun new skills I want to learn anymore.
Hey, it doesn't have to be, but we all get battle scars. And Kevin's gonna hold up his hands, and there's like nicks and cuts, like scars all over his fingers from like pocket knives and just various other things. Like, look, man, I mean, I've been in here a lot. It happens. But how about you tell me about your mixtape that you made? Tell me some of the other songs that are on it. And as he's like talking, just gonna like snip the thing and then pull it out the other way so that it doesn't hurt too bad.
It still hurts a lot for poor Donald. He'll start like talking about some of the other ideas. I did have an idea for Word Al. He'll scream out that last part. You ass! You said it wasn't supposed to hurt.
I mean, I said it wouldn't hurt too bad. I didn't say it wasn't gonna hurt at all. You had a piece of metal in your hand. I was,
Great. Now I look all messed up.
And then I'm gonna go over and find like, antibiotic ointment or whatever. Clean it up with, some gauze, and then, dinosaurs or Powerpuff Girls.
What?
Apparently that's all we have for the bandages. We got dinosaurs or we got Powerpuff Girls. I don't know.
Gangrene's not an option.
I mean, it is if you don't cover it up.
I'll take the dinosaurs.
Cool. And I walk over with the Powerpuff Girls and put one on.
Were there any dinosaur ones left?
I don't know.
He just has that look of... Thanks.
Keep changing that. If it gets dirty, let me know. We'll get you some more Band-Aids.
I think I'm gonna pick the one next time.
All right.
In the meantime, while all of that is happening and the two of you are trying to keep the contents of Mason's stomach inside whatever is left, the poor kid, and inflicting sugar, spice, and everything nice on poor Donald. What are you two doing, Ebony and Tara, since you two are still at the lake with the fishing happening?
Have I caught that first fish yet?
Let's see. You did. So, you probably finished luring in the first cast you did out, and then you prepped a second one. Probably a little further away from the vegetation where there's more rocks available. And Kyle is like still actively watching, like his knuckles are white while he's just sitting intensely. It's like watching football. And in the midst of going like halfway between where you cast and at the edge of the docks, the bobber just goes bloop.
And Tara gives that quick, hard yank on the pole and starts winding it in.
And you'll notice that it's a big one. So it's like really yanking on the string and it's frantically going like this in the water. And Kyle's like, "You got it! You got it! Bring that sucker in!" He's like a little too invested in this.
You're gonna chase the rest of them away. It's okay. It's all right to be chill.
He's so invested in it, he's living vicariously through you, thinking he caught it. So he's like just amped up, like shaking like this, like just waiting to see how big this thing was gonna be.
Yeah, I'll haul it in, bring it up out of the water.
It's like a really nice sized bass. I'm talking big ass Not that one. Not
I'm
that
just-
way, man.
I was making a joke about how every Fisher story is like it was this, and it just every time it just gets a little bit bigger each time you tell it.
It's like a solid. I can't believe I'm gonna say this. It's a solid 12 inches.
Yeah.
So just. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a solid 12-inch bass, really big, wide mouth, and solid greens and really faint beiges and stuff. And it has really solid dorsal fin in the back. And this thing is strong. It's beating against all the water to try and get it out. And Kyle is losing his shit, and he's jumping up and down in pure excitement, seeing this fish being caught. And he's just yeah, Tara, yeah! Just completely losing it. And
See
he's
what I
looking
mean?
at awe at the fish.
You don't need all that stuff in the tackle box. You just need a worm and some patience.
Cool, what do we do with it now?
Now, and Tara really quickly sort of hooks her fingers into the mouth, pulls out the hook, and gives it the worm, and then you look at it, appreciate it, and just chucks it back into the water.
No! That was a really big one. Why'd you throw it back in?
This is a really big one.
Exactly! Why'd you throw it back in?
It gets to keep living, and maybe we'll catch it again. It might be hungry.
But I thought the whole point of fishing was to keep what you caught.
Well, you can. I prefer to throw them back. We got plenty of fresh food up at the hut. We're not going to need anything for a couple weeks at least. So most of the fish we catch, we throw them back because we don't need all that fish, and they get to keep having a good time in the lake. We get the fun of having caught them. We get to see nice big thick long boy and then chuck it back in the water. We're talking about fish. It's just a good time.
I'm not even gonna look at Twitch right now because I don't want to see what's around.
It's actually pretty tame for once.
Yeah.
But Ebony is just
Despite
sort of,
me baiting it.
My God! It's a nice lure, Matt. I appreciate it.
No one even took a bite.
All fell for it, hook, line, and sinker.
It was just too easy, Matthew.
Yeah.
The joke was final in itself.
A little too fishy.
Mm-hmm.
I think we
Guy-
should probably call Finn on these fish puns.
Yeah. We're cod blocking Taylor's RP.
These are just all jokes I've already heard my dad say.
Oh, she's getting crabby.
Getting yabby. I spent my childhood camping and fishing. So.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you hate these jokes?
Oh, 1. They're amazing.
Oh, okay, good.
But
I was gonna say we should reel it in, but in that case.
maybe scale it back a little bit.
Oh my God. So
Ebony's found a spot. She's not squirmish or anything. She was fully prepared to gut and scale the fish that was just caught, but she was like, oh, fine, yeah, throwing it back makes sense. And for any of the kids that are too squeamish or ew, I'm not touching that, that's gross, she's hooking worms left, right, and center. She doesn't cut them. She'll just stab, wind until the entire hook is covered, pass the thing on, and then just keep going. And then this kid's caught a snag, so she'll go over and cut the line and restart it. But she's just keeping an eye out on the lake.
Right. Well, it'll start to turn more towards the afternoon, more along the lines of lunchtime. And all of you will actually hear the PA system go off where it'll give out the announcement that lunch is about to be served and all camp counselors are to return back with the kids back to the mess hall. In
Was
the
it
meantime,
Murray?
nope, it's a counselor.
Is it usually a counselor or is it usually Murray?
It's usually Murray.
Hmm. I feel like Rowan definitely would have picked that up because she's.
So, all of you will start just packing everything up, making sure everything is back in its respective places for the next group to come in. All of you will start migrating your way towards the mess hall. K-Rock and Rowan, the two of you will get Mason and poor Donald situated. By the time you two finish up, they'll feel a little bit better, each of them, and then all of you will start migrating as well towards the mess hall.
Yeah. Gotta get some food in Mason. He looks pale.
And that's where we're going to end today's episode. But before then, Rowan, you had done your original perusing of Murray's office. Aside from the phone, you didn't see anything that was out of terms. Except there was one thing that you didn't look at. As you already know, Murray has his bedroom just off of the office. Just for in case of emergencies. What you won't have noticed is the sheets having been pulled off abruptly. There was a mixed match of clothes on the floor. Murray seemed to be in a hurry of some sort. And the shotgun rifle that he has mounted on his wall is missing. And that's all we have for this episode today, everybody.
Why couldn't you be more of a snoop?
Sorry, it's just not my vibe. And K-Rock didn't come with me, so.
I was tending to a bleeding child.
Well, I think he was
Hey.
carrying the passed out one.
Yeah, that's true. I also was carrying
Children.
So, thank you all very much for watching our second episode of Heart of Ice. Be sure to tune in next week. We may have Vengalia next week, or it might be a third episode of this. But until we see you all next time, are you all ready for more tales?
Always.
Stick around for a raid, everybody.
Bye-bye!
Bye.